This week we discussed the OpenSea issue, and a Ubisoft executive says gamers don't understand. Is he wrong? Also, we speculate what would kill NFTs. I'm Keys, and welcome to NFTs with Keys. Like, subscribe, and ring that bell for all that NFT news you need. Also, comment below. It helps us a lot. And thank you to everyone who's watching and all the new subscribers. It means a lot to us. It helps us. It encourages us.
Yes.
Keeps us on track during the week to make the content that you want to see.
You.
Yes, you. So yeah, we're going to talk some NFT news. So OpenSea did a little bit of something weird. They decided to peel back their contracts. So how many things you can mint to 50 items.
That seems ridiculous to me, but elaborate, please.
Well, that is ridiculous. It doesn't matter if it seems ridiculous. I mean, there is a good reason why they thought this was a good idea. And basically it comes down to an exploit or like a hack or something. From my understanding, basically what happened is in this exploit, people who were putting offers on, let's say, a Bored Ape for $3,000 or 12 grand, you know, so they're putting a bid on it vastly under. The person's like, no, they delist it. And then, you know, 6 months later, they list it again for like 400K. And when they hit accept, it gets sold for 12K. Kind of like what happened to that guy. And so that's been happening to a lot. Yeah. And that's been happening to a lot of people. So in a way for OpenSea to, you know, counter this, what they decided to do was scale back the amount of things that you can mint on their smart contracts. But there also was other ways around it. That's something I saw on Twitter and other people talking is they were also allowing you to make your own contract.
Oh, yeah.
So you could do more, but you had to do the work, which a lot of these artists, they're not engineering people. They're not people who are really big into the blockchain. They're just big art people. So they're making art and they're putting it out there. So they're really utilizing the OpenSea smart contract. So that really hurt them because I know people who are doing editions of 50 or collection of 100, you know, and so that kind of was hurting them. Well, pretty much they backtracked that almost immediately. What ended up happening is obviously a lot of people were like, no, we don't want this. And they released a kind of lengthy Twitter thread. Right. Basically saying like the reason they did it was because of the hack or the exploit. And they wanted to limit the number of items based on the feedback they got from their community. So apparently people were like, hey, we got robbed, or, you know,
we got robbed,
you know, or they felt wrong. So they wanted something to happen. They were demanding action. And OpenSea does admit that they were wrong. It was the wrong choice to implement it without telling anybody or making a preview to see what the community thought. And so they just kind of were like, this is what we're doing. And that's where I think the big, you know, backlash was. Because if they would have, you know, previewed it, had the feedback, then like, hey, these are the ways you can get around it, you know, you know, giving out the information to help people deal with it, you know, kind of thing. But since there was an issue and people got upset about it, they did end up backing it down and changing it back, or putting it back to how it was. So everything's fine. It's back to normal. But they did announce that they were working on other solutions to fix the exploit and promises to preview any kind of, you know, fix that they do come up with before, you know, launching it. They want everyone to know about it. So I think that's a good idea. Yeah. It is kind of interesting. There's a lot of heat on OpenSea in general, just because they are the biggest NFT marketplace in the planet. So it's like, it makes sense that when something happens, they backtracked it, kind of like with, you know, Ubisoft or something like that, when, you know, with the Stalker 2 stuff, you know, not Ubisoft, but, you know, the Stalker 2 stuff, they're like, oh, NFTs, community's like, no. And so then what ends up happening, they're like, oh, no, we're kidding, not kidding, but
I wonder what would happen if they would have stuck to their guns and kept that 50.
Nothing.
Like, you think
nothing would have happened.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
95% of NFT sales come from OpenSea.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like what? Maybe innovation? So someone having to try to make something that can even compete, stand on the same level as OpenSea?
I mean, it's possible. There are other, you know, marketplaces out there that, you know, don't really do the same thing. That's just kind of the aggregator for all I mean, it's not really an aggregator because that's the one marketplace.
I guess, are there like, and forgive my ignorance, but, you know, fans and Keys here, but are there like tiers? Like, like are you really an artist, an NFT artist, if your artwork's not on OpenSeas? Or?
No, anybody and everybody's on OpenSeas. There is tiers to the marketplaces.
Okay.
When it first came out, Foundation or FND, that was probably like one of the more premier ones. You needed a referral to even so. In other words, you had to know someone to give you
like the OG Gmail days,
or like the OG Clubhouse days. Where you had to be invited, but you had to be invited from someone who minted something and sold something. So that's how you get invites. And so that was kind of exclusive. And those were one of one NFTs. So it's not like they were collections or anything like that. So that was a whole different market for people. Some people wanted collections and they could only do one of ones. So then they created collections within that. They did a whole series, but they're all one of ones kind of thing. And there's that. So that's kind of high up there. But there's actually super rare, which is even harder. There's people who have been applying for years.
Really?
To get into super rare, and they get denied every request they do.
Is it like
super rare is the one where you see like, oh, that piece went for like $4 million, and you're just like, who the hell buys that? It's like they bought it for like 1,000 ETH, and you're like, what? Like it comes from super rare. Super rare is one of like the high end, but also too, if you look at any of the art on super rare, it is above and beyond than the pixel art you see on OpenSea.
Oh, you're telling me I can't get that classy 8-bit PFP?
Oh no, you might be able to. Well, there'd be no really PFPs on there. That's just kind of where all the more I don't want to say well known, because there's artists that I don't know, but they're like they have huge followings and they're on super rare. But it's really there's like a different class of.
Oh, so it's the
art.
difference between like a Picasso versus like the finger painting my boy Jake Paul did for me.
He didn't do that.
Hey man, one day.
But yeah, sort of. I mean, like the people on super rare, you can tell that they spent months, if not years, working on that art.
Seemingly.
No. Some of these people are actually like doing physical canvas art and painting, and then they take a picture, and then they'll mint it to super rare. So it's actually like artists who take months, if not years, to do this. So that's what I'm saying. Super rare is a little bit different. Don't get it wrong. There's probably someone out there who's just really good at digital art and can whip something up in like a day or two or a week, and they sell it on super rare and for a lot.
And if one of you artists out there feel that you have this capability and skill and are bored and hungry, and like, bro, hit me up. I got not a lot of money, but enough. Let's talk. Let's make some NFTs.
But so yes, to answer the question, there is kind of tiers. So it's like in my mind, it would probably be like super rare, and then Foundation and Nifty Gateway, or probably Nifty Gateway, then Foundation, and then there's like OpenSea, and then there's all these other ones like all the Tez stuff and like the different blockchains. But yes, there is kind of tiered ones, at least on Ethereum, in a sense of how much you're probably gonna get. Like, you don't see on super rare, things going for 1 ETH.
I see. Oh, okay. The floor is really high.
Yeah, the floor is like 9.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
sense.
yeah. So these are the art there, and that's why they're kind of subjective and stuff like that. Mind you, I don't know if the floor is really 9 there. I'm just kind of it's not cheap. You don't go there to super rare to try to get a deal on an NFT.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
You might go to OpenSea to get a free NFT, because if you go in there and you like sort the whole list of like lowest to most expensive, you'll see free NFTs.
How does that work with gas fees and stuff?
You pay gas, that's all. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, like that whole OpenSea, debacle issue, whatever you want to call it. Again, I do think it's a good idea how they backed it up, and then and again, I do think if they did stick to their guns and stayed with it, nothing would happen. Sure, you might see a small migration of people leaving, but after that, they see that migration leaving, they'll be like, oh, well, if you just copy and paste this smart contract, it's the same one. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's on you now if you get robbed. Like,
true.
So something like that would probably end up happening. So I don't think anything really would have happened per se, and so. But yeah, anyways, moving on. Speaking about Ubisoft.
Right.
I don't know why I said that. Ubisoft?
I call it Ubisoft.
Yeah, I just called it Ubisoft. All right. Anyways, yeah. So Ubisoft. So one of the Ubisoft heads said gamers don't understand in an interview, and apparently, Kotaku, that website, was not happy. A very scathing article, which kind of made me laugh. But if you take a step back from being like an offended, I put myself in a corner and I'm a gamer and I don't like NFTs because I have so much fear and hate for loot boxes and it's the same thing. I get that, but yeah. You know what I mean? Like, but it's like one of those things. It's like I get it, but you really don't kind of understand there's more utility to NFTs and yeah. Anyways, so as we all know, Ubisoft launched Quartz, the platform for NFTs, which they call digits, which which are essentially just skins for guns, ammo, or whatever. They're pointless things. So this guy Nicholas Pouard, I'm not sure if I'm saying his last name. Sorry, probably not watching this anyways. He's the VP of Strategic Innovation Lab and Dieter Genevois, Ubisoft's blockchain technical director. He said gamers don't get it. And I have to agree. I do have to agree. I don't think gamers truly understand like I said with the opening of this article, is like the utility of it. And Poirot also went on to say that in the interview, he said that the end game is about giving players the opportunity to resell the items once they're finished with them, and they're also or when they're finished playing the game. Which that's really important. Like that gamers I don't think understand. I mean, you'd think they would. I mean, with all these MMOs out there where there's like where you can actively trade with people in another country as long as they're on the server, like where you're actually making real in-game money. I mean, my buddy used to, before Rocket League got bigger, when it was smaller, like he was buying and trading stuff for real money.
Cool.
And you know what I mean? And even MapleStory. He made real money in MapleStory doing that too. I don't know if anyone out there remembers MapleStory, or if you remember MapleStory. A little chibi. Yeah, yeah. Anyways, I love that game. But like he also used to run a server with some friends of mine or friends of ours, and he was selling things on a third-party market. And it's like that's essentially all NFTs are. That's just there's actual real collectible value out of it, and it's tied to a blockchain that you can see. So that's not something I don't understand why gamers don't make the connection, and they don't why it's bad. I don't. Maybe. Excuse me. I just don't understand why they are so vehemently against it when it doesn't. I mean, okay, don't get it wrong. If it starts like, play to or pay to win model in the sense like, you buy an NFT and now you get invisibility or something. It's like, yeah, no, that's BS.
But it definitely going to be heavily. Let's be honest here. Once NFTs are in place, there is going to be a pay to win aspect on a lot of these games. I'm looking at you mobile gaming most.
Yeah, Tencent.
I'm sure Tencent's over there, like someone back there with a notepad. Continue, boys, continue. Yes, good.
Well, probably not because Tencent's China owned, and
China likes money.
Yeah, that's true. They do, but they also don't really like crypto and all that right now. So
China don't care. China doesn't like crypto on the surface. If China could control crypto, China like. You know what? I say all of this, but please don't demonetize us. Please don't.
I don't think we've said anything that were lies.
I'll go full John Cena right now.
很多，所以在一个采访，我有一个错误，所有人。
Oh my god! Oh man! Yeah.
Calling you out, John.
Yeah, definitely. John Cena. But so I don't understand why like gamers are so against it, and you are right. There's probably going to be the mobile games that do that, or the loot box stuff. But I mean,
I don't think gamers care. I think it's just cool for gamers to hate on NFTs. I think it's just like a fad. I don't think they truly care. Like in all reality, I don't think they care. I think they're just kind of like, yeah, we don't like NFTs because I was told I don't like NFTs. I don't think they have a real opinion.
Yeah, and that's what I think, honestly, is when a studio puts out NFTs or makes a game that's NFT, and like, let's say when you buy the game, that's like your initial investment to play the game, and then after that, it's up to you to generate real money and play the game the right way. Yeah. Like, I think if that comes out, that community is going to be like, oh, wait, I'm making money from just playing video games, and I don't have to stream.
Oh yeah, no, you better.
And I don't have to be good at this. I just have to be decent. I can make $100 a day.
Yeah, that's all it's gonna take. Really, is is for a proper game to be made and just a couple of these people
Yeah.
that actually get it and they start playing it, and then they understand what's going on, other people will follow suit, because the whole thing about putting NFTs in the gaming industry is it's designed to be incredibly simple for people to get into and start using.
Yeah.
Almost it's so intuitive that you already know once you get in. So
Yeah.
it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, no, it really is. And I
Yeah.
think there's going to be that hate, it's kind of like with, the PC, the master race PC crowd, where it's like now they're kind of more accepting of, console people. Sure, I don't really hear people being like, oh, PCs are the greatest ever. Or like, sure,
they are.
no, they are. No, but the thing is, I don't think there's really that, or the console wars are kind of ended, like where you see Microsoft and Sony being friendly with each other.
Well, yeah, because now we have the metaverse on the horizon here. It's like console.
You mean Horizon? That's what it's called.
What?
Meta's metaverse is called Horizon.
Oh, God.
Yeah. The more you know.
Damn you, marketing team over at Facebook. It's so good.
It's really good. But anyways, going back to the Ubisoft thing, I think the biggest thing Ubisoft and other developers need to do is to figure out a way to convince gamers. And I think that's going to come down to creating an NFT game, not adding NFTs to games. And I know I keep saying that, and I keep beating a dead horse by saying it, but it just needs to be said, because it's like that's really the only way that I can see it happening, because no one wants to add that in, because it does look gimmicky. It does look like a loot box. You know what I mean? But it's like really what it needs is some of these famous streamers don't need to be given these ones, but they need to play it and show that they enjoy it, or they got the skin or whatever. And it's like, I don't know. I think it's kind of like, sure, it is a little like loot boxy when it comes to like, it's just skins, but like, what if you pay for one and it is a loot box thing, and you end up with a one of one that's worth $20K and you only paid $100 or $50.
Let's be real here. If you just take the stuff that you're selling in Call of Duty Warzone and you NFT'd all of those skins, literally all of them, it would be game over. NFTs would be accepted. In the world, would be NFT'd out.
I mean, or if Epic was into NFTs and they did it to Fortnite, that would be really big too. But I feel like the issue there is more so with the little kids stealing credit cards and to buy NFTs. It just, anyways.
Listen, that's already happening with these little kids taking mommy and daddy's credit card, these mobile games,
or grandmas.
Microtransactions.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, or grandmas. Shame on you.
Yeah,
that
one kid in, I think it was England, he still like put grandma into a retirement home pretty much. Yeah, he's
shame.
Yeah, I think he spent like $13K or something like that.
Oh,
yeah. Anyways, but yeah. So also, Ubisoft and other developers need to continue reinforcing the NFTs they want to add. And also letting everyone know that's not a pay to win. But I do agree with you. It is going to end up like Tencent for sure is going to make a pay to win model for that.
Yo, yeah, hands down, 100%.
Yeah, and yeah. So I don't know, like, those auction houses in games, that's really the biggest thing that I don't understand. Kind of touching back on that, it's just, it kind of reminds me again like of those RPG games where people make money, and that's the thing I don't understand why they're so against it, because that's essentially the same thing. It's not essentially, it's literally the same thing. You just now actually have physicality to own something, not just a digital JPEG in a game, and only in a game you can move it to a wallet.
True.
For all we know, you can make it wearable in the metaverse either. I don't know yet. Anyway, I don't know, man. It kind of bugs me. Gamers are so against it. I'm not a really big gamer. I like gaming. Mm-hmm. Like, I'll spend 8-9 hours just on a Saturday after recording playing video games all day.
Like honestly, I think the conversation we're probably having is the wrong conversation. I think it's not about what we can do with the games as they are right now. Yeah, I think it would be the NFT game. Like, it needs to be something on the metaverse. It needs to probably be something that is visible by a lot of people. And again, like, I'm fully of the belief that the metaverse is going to be multi-device. You can hit it on the computer, you can hit it on the Oculus, you can hit it on your phone, and like, you're going to be walking around, you're going to have some kind of representation of self in that metaverse. Yeah. And like, you're going to be able to walk around with that NFT, and it's going to be an NFT. And that's when these NFTs are going to really blow up in games. Because I think right now we're trying to square peg round hole.
Yeah.
Inuyasha birth type thing,
Yeah, definitely. No, that's a good way to sum that up. I think you're right on pretty much all those points. So we're going to move on. I know I wanted to do highlighting an NFT project this week, but some things happened on one of the ones I was looking at. Kind of came up with some red flags.
More rug pulls, gentlemen.
That's what I was thinking. I don't want to throw it under the bus because I don't know. I just kind of got some red flags and feel comfortable with it. So we're moving on to a question that we were going to talk about later, maybe this month or next month. But what would it take to kill NFTs as we know them?
What would it take?
What would it take?
Decimate NFTs as we know them.
Yeah.
So like I think some description needs to be put in as to what at least I think an NFT is. So when I think of NFT off the top of my head, the first thing that pops into my mind are these like collectible pictures, basically, like trading cards on the internet that have insane values. Like they seem like that could have some insane values. Like look at these.
Yeah, the Bored Apes. Yeah,
the Bored Ape is a great example of this.
Yeah. See, but when it comes to that, and I do agree. Like I think as we're defining it, and that's why I kind of the way I said it, I could have said what would kill NFTs, but I said as we know it.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of said it that way because as we're about to get into, because we have similar thoughts on this one, but it really when it comes to killing the NFTs as we know it. It's going to be when famous people stop caring.
Yeah. Oh, you know, that I guess that's like the nuclear option if you want to
well, I mean, I don't think
people stop talking about it.
I don't think famous people will ever because there's still going to be money in it and kind of a callback to, you know, the post-pandemic COVID episode of South Park. You know, it's all about getting someone else to buy your stuff. So these famous celebrities know they have millions of followers and active people, and as long as they're in it, they're gonna make money. So you know, so I think that the moment the Jimmy Fallons and the Paris Hiltons and the Des Bryants and the Steve Aokis and all these other people or the Reese Witherspoons, they decide to go, oh, I'm over NFTs, I don't care. That's where NFTs, as we know it, as a big art form, is going to lose. Like the Bored Apes will drop massively. The moment
you really think so?
Imagine if all the famous people sold their Bored Apes. Sure, there might be a boom in them, but then as like that community might be strong, it might continue to go on. But as more famous people move out of it, the mainstream is going to move out of it, which is okay for me as someone who's been in NFTs for a while, and like as it's gotten more mainstream, like I like it because I like the attention to it. I do think NFTs have a place in the future, especially with the way blockchain technology is kind of taking over in a lot of respects.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially in the next like 5-10 years, it's probably going to be more pronounced and part of everyday life around the world for the most part. And that will obviously have a big play with NFTs use. So I don't think NFTs will actually be killed, but as we know them, I think it's when the mass media doesn't care about them. I mean, I was watching, some commentary shows, and they were talking about NFTs and crypto, and they don't ever talk about it. I mean, they were crapping on it. They don't like it, but
it's popular to.
It's popular because people don't understand it, and when you don't understand or know something, you're not going to like it. It's confusing to you. You don't want it. It's scary, Imagine the first time man saw fire. Like, holy shit. It's fire.
That's right. We're comparing NFTs to fire. What of it?
Yeah. Or the wheel, it's reinventing things.
Or sliced bread.
Yeah.
That's right.
Or the Post-it. Anyways, yeah. I feel bad for that guy. He didn't get any money because he was working at Post-it. So when he made the Post-it note, they just took it and he has a placard, he got a raise, I think. That was about it.
Those are the real heroes.
Yeah. Anyways. But yeah, so the NFTs, as we know it, I do think it's going to be when famous people and businesses step away from buying the art and stuff. That's where the art you're going to see going down.
I think you're 100% correct. I think, as you were saying that, what went through my mind is, that wouldn't be such a bad thing if we.
That same thing here. As I was talking, I was like, can this actually happen? Please?
Yeah, I think some of you celebrities should step away and
Jimmy Fallon, Paris Hilton. I'm talking to you. That was embarrassing.
Mad trash on the NFTs because I feel like if we start poo-pooing on what they are now, we can start utilizing NFTs and start the development for what they can be.
Yeah.
And that leads me into my next point is the next thing that would kill NFTs as they are today is if we found a real use case and the company did it successfully and it wasn't one of these pictures or it wasn't a piece of art, It was a real tried and true use case.
Yeah.
I think that would have to get people to take a step back and really take a look at what NFTs are as a whole, because then it opens up a whole new ball game to what these things can truly do. And now we're again having a completely different conversation than what we were before. And like you said too, I don't think NFTs are ever going to die, because blockchain, I believe, is going to be the big buzzword over this next decade. Cloud computing was the last decade. Now it's blockchain. Everything will be blockchain. And I'm curious, just since we're talking about the destruction of NFTs, do you think if the NFTs were to go the way of the dodo, right, or the blue-footed booby, rest in peace,
R.I.P.
Do you think it would send like Ethereum's price plummeting?
No, because there's a lot of DeFi that gets moved there. And
Yeah, DeFi. That's a very, very hot word these days. Got a lot of DeFi going around, especially in the Cardano space. You should check out the Crypto Bytes pod on that.
yeah, he just hijacked that.
I did. Yeah. You got
It's okay.
You got a
It's
DeFi.
a good
I know you
shameless
Degans
plug.
are out there.
It was a
I know
good
you
shameless
Degans
plug.
are out there.
But
we got DeFi on Cardano.
I mean,
baby.
I do think that could happen. You know, obviously, there could be an issue that way. But there's still a lot of other uses. You know, like DeFi. You know, is one. And I also don't think NFTs as art would be completely killed. It might kill OpenSea. It might kill, Tez, even though that's,
what I think it'll be? I think it'll stop being like the actual pictures, and I think it's all just going to be contracts and deeds and like the rights of ownership.
Well, no, but pictures will be there too, because it's like digital art. How do you make the one of one?
Like, I feel like
without being stolen, because again, people like the biggest.
I guess digital art would be like that,
and that's what I'm saying, or even physical art too. But like the ones that are going to survive, it's going to be the people minting on super rare. Because the rich people still pay big money for really, really good art.
What if you did something like those grading places? Like, what if like those, when you send your card in and you get it graded, like, oh yeah, you've got like a Gem Mint 10, but they send you an NFT as like the authenticity of that grading status. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, that technically could happen, but I mean, what would it like? Yeah, you could, because you could put a QR code on the back of the encapsulation. And then that could give you an NFT, but it would have to be a non-movable. You'd have to just be able to view it if you have it, because people who buy those trading cards are, baseball, basketball, football, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, whatever. Any of these cards that are, encapsulated, you buy and sell them, and like, so you might buy one, get the NFT, and then what? You sell it to someone. Now that person doesn't get the NFT.
That's right. He doesn't really own it. You go to try to sell it. Prove your ownership. Show me your blockchain papers.
No, he would still own the card. He just wouldn't own the NFT. And at that point, would that drop the value of the card?
I'm going to say yes.
So then you wouldn't want it to be moved, because you want to keep the value of the card.
Probably. Wow, this is a weird conversation to even have.
Or you do allow people to do it, and then that creates a whole new class of what's better. So it's like, okay, it's a PSA Gem Mint 10 with a Pop 2, but it doesn't have the NFT on it. There's only one Pop 1, meaning that the population of all of these, there's only one in the world that has the NFT tied to the card still, making it $4 million.
That would be absolutely insanely ridiculous, because it does nothing to the physical property.
Exactly.
But merely slaps an NFT on there, and because there's an NFT associated with it, it's now triple, quadruple, 100x.
And do you know what's funny is, for all you know, the NFT could just be a picture of the card.
This is just a picture of me.
No, not even. It's just the card.
Yeah.
It's just a scan of the card. That's all it could be, and people would probably freak out over that.
Wow, NFTs.
Yeah, so it's, PSA.
Death.
Hey, we just gave you a way to make more money.
Oh, I thought of the next death of the NFT.
Okay.
Overuse of the NFT.
Yes.
Overuse of the NFT will kill the NFT.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's going to be, you know what it is all the celebrities, talking about the NFTs, embarrassing a lot of the NFT marketplace. I mean, again, I know I mentioned the Jimmy Fallon Paris Hilton thing kind of in passing, but that was really embarrassing to me. I felt like they don't know what they're talking about, and they're just like, oh, I bought an ape. Oh, my ape looks like me. It's so cool. Oh. And then instantly everybody and their mom, and I wanted to make fun of you for being into NFTs. And I have a show about NFTs. Do you have any other videos I watched about people commenting on that, talking shit on NFTs? And I was like, I feel attacked. I feel attacked. I'm one of the people that's in NFTs, and you're calling me dumb and idiotic because we have these two people up there on national television just saying words like buzzwords in the community and talking about Bored Ape. It's like and now everybody thinks Bored Ape is NFT, just like everyone thinks Meta's metaverse is the metaverse. It's like, no, the metaverse is there's different metaverses.
Tinfoil hat time, and this will be my last comment. They are doing this by design, guys. They've now understood the value of the NFT, and now Hollywood, entertainment, and everything else around you is trying to control it. And now you're going to start seeing all of these narratives to shape what you think of the NFT.
I have to say, I think you're right. I don't think
but that's just me with a tinfoil hat on.
I mean, I don't think that. I mean, sure, because it's all allegedlys, but still, I mean, I think that doesn't sound too tinfoil hattish. That sounds more like real facts.
You want to?
I mean, think about I mean, I'm not trying to be political here, but you know, the last couple of years, we were told one thing, and and we all were like, I don't know, it seems a little weird. You know,
we're 2 years in. You know,
like where did it come from? Like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? Like, why not therapeutics? Like, what? I don't know. You know, why not everything to help everything? I mean, I thought we learned our lesson with AIDS. Like, you know, like that's what the whole Dallas Buyers Club. Wait, who was in charge of it? Never mind. I don't want to get canceled.
Yeah, right.
I'm not trying to get kicked off YouTube of my, like, you know.
But I'll tell you what I am trying to do. Get you, the viewer, to like, subscribe, ring the bell, and share the link with literally everyone.
Everyone and everybody. I don't know. That's the same thing. That was stupid. Anyways, yeah, thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Rick, for being here.
Of course.
Thank you for closing that out for me. That was beautiful. It was beautiful like your soul.
Oh.
God bless everybody. And yeah, go follow me on Twitter at NFTs with Keys, as well as my friends at Argyros Crypto. That's it for us. Deuces.
Vegetables. Here I come from the west side.